Professor Gunaratne, thank you very much for joining us. We stay in the region with more Middle East news. Hamas has announced that its leadership delegation has arrived in Cairo for critical talks with Egyptian officials. The discussions aim to secure a comprehensive deal to end the Gaza war, including a full Israeli withdrawal and the reconstruction of the devastated territory. The group's statement highlights urgent demands for the humanitarian aid crisis, stressing the immediate need for food, medicine and relief supplies for Gaza's suffering population. The talks are also expected to cover the formation of a community support committee to help manage Gaza's affairs, alongside broader discussions on Palestinian internal matters. Meanwhile, Gaza's government media office warned that the blockade has put more than 1 million children at risk of famine, pleading for the entry of food, medicine and fuel to the Gaza Strip. 59 Israeli hostages still are with Hamas in Gaza. We are joined by Ali M. Abushbak, independent Palestinian researcher located in Cairo, to discuss this further. Ali, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. Do you have hopes for these talks, which are obviously being mediated in Cairo, where you are? Do you think that what makes these ones different to last time?
Thank you. On the ground, Palestinians are looking for the little glimmer of hope to reach to end the war in Gaza, while Hamas denying to reach out to any deal with Israel. Hamas emphasized that they are going for a comprehensive deal with Israel to release the captive, as well as they are mentioning that, according to their senior leader Tahir al-Nunu, they are mentioning that they are going to Cairo to talk about the deal. Hamas mentioned the military, the army, the weapons of Palestinian resistance is the red line, so they can't demilitarize, which this is making a huge trouble in the negotiation with Israel. We have seen that Benjamin Netanyahu, he stressed about the demilitarization of Hamas, and there is no any rule for Hamas on the ground or with in the Palestinian government the day next of war. So things is not clear yet. While Hamas denied to demilitarize and to about that comprehensive exchange with Israel. Also here we are talking about the suffering of Palestinians on the ground, while the people are suffering from the starvation, and we are going to the famine in the Gaza Strip. There is a shortage on a substantial supplies in Gaza. At the same time, also Israel carrying out an airstrike in the tent of the Palestinian citizen, and more than 50 Palestinians now today they are reached to the hospital. They are killed by the Israeli airstrike. So the significant question here, what's Hamas waiting for about? We have seen that last week, President Abbas, the Palestinian president, he demanded Hamas to release the captive to end this war, while Hamas also, according to reports or according to social media activists, it's used by Iran and Qatar about the conflict between Iran and Israel and America. So here we need some serious statement from Hamas about their seriousness about negotiation and about talk to reach to the end to the conflict. While Hamas also, one of the senior leader Mahmoud Mordai, he's based on the West Bank. He said that Hamas showing their flexibility in the talk in Qatar and also in Cairo. Here we are waiting for what is coming on the at the time. So either Hamas will be as serious to end the war and reach to comprehensive deal with Israel or no. And also Hamas stress about the Israeli withdrawal, while Israel also mentioning that there is a buffer zone for their security and to not repeat it such kind of action like October 7th. So the things is a bit complicated between Israel and Hamas yet, but on the ground, Palestinians looking at only little glimmer of hope. But
Yes.
in my opinion, there is no hope since Hamas is still having power in Gaza and there is no representative for the Palestinian Liberalization Organization because Hamas can't lead the negotiation with Israel or with USA. Yeah.
Yes. Ali, obviously harrowing images that we're seeing on a regular basis coming out of Gaza. Israel has had a blockade on aid coming into Gaza since early March. According to the Gazan Health Ministry, 1 million children are at risk of famine now. I was wondering if you could fill the audience in on the impact of the lack of aid in Gaza in regards to food, in regards to medicine, and in regards to fuel in the Gaza Strip, and the scarcity of it right now.
The thing is the only casualties of this war is the civilians, not either Hamas or Israel. Civilians are suffering on the ground. Israel also targeting the charity of kitchen that offering food for the people who can't have the ability to manage the everyday food or to manage everyday surviving. So also we have witnessed that Israel targeting the Palestinian school that taking as a shelter for the people who displaced. So only people on the ground, the civilian who's got impacted from this war, from the starvation, from the as you mentioned, the pain. So here is also more than 100,000 of Palestinians prohibited to go to the school, while the education system is completely suspended during the 7th of October in 1993. So here is also the Palestinian community we are talking about the relation between the people, and the social cohesion between people also, it's got impacted on the ground. People or most of the people on the ground suffering from the trauma and visible injury. So here is also we are talking about the weakness sector in the community, women and the children who really deeply impacted from this war, while Hamas giving them its back and doesn't listen to the demand of the ordinary people. And as I mentioned, social media is flooded with the criticizing of Hamas and demanding Hamas to end the war in any cost. So in any reach to the yeah.
Ali, I want to just ask you one more final question. The leadership delegation is heading to Cairo with Egyptian officials today. Obviously, Egypt does border the Gaza Strip. How have you analysed and assessed Egypt's mediation efforts so far in this conflict?
See, the connection between Gaza and Egypt is the historical connection. So we know that Egypt controlled Gaza after the Sixth Day of War in 1967. So also, according to my information, the security emphasized that they are pressurizing Hamas to accept their new proposal with regard to reach a comprehensive exchange and comprehensive deal with Israel. But as I mentioned, Hamas is used by Iran and Qatar for this rule. As you know, nowadays there is a competition between Qatar and Egypt, who will dominate and who will control the Arab area, and who will be the dog watch for this area. As I also here is Egypt has a historical mediation. So in 2012, also Egypt reached to the mediation between Hamas and Israel in the military operation in 2012, 2014, and also with a Great March of Return also in 2018. Egypt pressurized Hamas to accept the deal with Israel. But nowadays, the things is out of control of Egypt, since Hamas acting like a stubborn and with no result. I mean, see that if you will talk about the devastation in Gaza, more than half of the building in Gaza completely devastated, and the community also devastated psychologically, physically also. 100 of people suffering from amputation. Since the day one Hamas controlled Gaza, people are suffering
Yes.
with that such conflict. Hamas running out more than six uh, 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 round of conflict and war with Israel. Up to now, we are looking for to save the humanity, to save the human people, I mean the civilian on the ground.
Yes, Ali M. Bushback, thank you very much for joining us. Well, that is all we have.